Welcome to the dynamic world of cognitive behavioral therapy, commonly known as CBT. This isn't just a treatment model, it's a philosophy of empowerment. At its heart, CBT teaches us a profound truth. It's not what happens to us, but how we interpret it, that shapes our emotional reality. Developed by Dr. Aaron T. Beck in the 1960s, CBT blends structured action with deep introspection, helping people untangle unhelpful thoughts, shift behaviors, and reclaim agency in their lives. Whether you're dealing with anxiety, depression, trauma, or simply looking to improve your mental clarity, CBT offers a roadmap toward well-being. CBT may appear modern, but its roots are ancient. The Stoics, like Epictetus, once said, "It's not events that disturb us, but our view of them," a sentiment that mirrors CBT's core principle. Eastern traditions, particularly Buddhism, taught us mindfulness and non-attachment, concepts now essential to third-wave CBT. And from Enlightenment thinkers to early behaviorists like Watson and Skinner, CBT has synthesized centuries of inquiry into one elegant principle. If we can change how we think, we can transform how we live. CBT is a fusion of science and wisdom, logic and soul. As CBT has spread worldwide, it's adapted to meet the rich diversity of human experience. Therapy must resonate with the client's worldview, language, and values to truly heal. That's why culturally adapted CBT matters. It respects traditions, honors identity, and customizes tools to fit every narrative, whether rooted in collectivist family systems or individualist self-concepts. When CBT is translated not just linguistically but culturally, it becomes a global bridge to resilience and psychological liberation. To understand the roots of our anxiety or overthinking, we must look back thousands of years. Our ancestors survived by being alert, by assuming the worst. That evolutionary wiring still lives in us today, even if the threats have changed. CBT allows us to override the outdated alarms. It's a tool of mental evolution, helping us adapt old survival strategies to the demands of modern life. It doesn't erase fear, it refines it into wisdom. CBT isn't therapy in the traditional sense, it's a psychological training ground. You learn practical skills. You become aware of your mental filters. You run mental experiments to test what's real and what's distorted. The tools: cognitive restructuring, behavioral activation, exposure exercises, problem-solving techniques, and values-based goal setting. This therapy is active, intentional, and focused on real-life change. Think of it as self-mastery, session by session. Science is unambiguous. CBT works. It has some of the strongest evidence across the field of mental health. In obsessive-compulsive disorder, CBT helps nearly 40% of clients reduce symptoms significantly. In body dysmorphic disorder, the success rate jumps to 82%. Clients don't just feel better, they learn how to stay better. CBT builds tools, not dependency. It's transformation with staying power. When one person heals, communities shift. CBT reduces not only personal suffering, but public health costs, workplace burnout, and family conflict. It's now being taught in schools as a preventive tool, equipping kids with emotional skills early in life. CBT strengthens resilience in a world that often leaves us overwhelmed. It's not just clinical, it's civic. It's cultural. It's essential. CBT is often seen as rational and evidence-based, but it also has a deeply humanistic side, especially in its third wave, like ACT, DBT, and MBCT. CBT embraces presence, acceptance, and compassion. It invites you not just to change thoughts, but to witness them without judgment. In this way, CBT aligns with spiritual traditions, reminding us that healing involves the whole being, body, mind, and soul. This therapy doesn't just change what you do, it reconnects you with who you are. New frontiers in neuroscience and quantum cognition suggest that our minds are not static, they're fields of potential. CBT teaches us to observe our thoughts, change their frequency, and redirect our mental energy. Like the observer effect in physics, the very act of watching a thought changes it. This metaphorical synergy helps us understand that we are not victims of thought. We are the architects of it. Your attention is your power. Technology is changing everything, including therapy. Digital CBT, virtual reality exposure, AI-assisted platforms like Wobot, these tools make healing more accessible than ever, and they're backed by research. Meta-analyses show CBT significantly improves quality of life and reduces symptoms across diagnoses. Now, whether you're on a subway or a mountain trail, the tools for mental clarity are in your pocket. CBT evolves as we evolve. Before we heal, we must understand. That's why assessment is a cornerstone of CBT. Through structured clinical interviews like SCID and MINI, therapists can accurately diagnose and tailor treatment. Self-report inventories like the Beck Depression Inventory, BDI, GAD-7, and PHQ-9 help you track emotional patterns and symptom severity over time. Thought records and cognitive diagrams reveal the inner architecture of belief systems, where the distortions live. And in session, the therapist observes not just what you say, but how you say it. Your behavior is a map of your mind. These tools don't label you, they illuminate you, and they set the stage for powerful change. Now that we've explored the theory and assessment tools, let's dive into the heart of CBT, the interventions, the practices that actually change lives. CBT doesn't just offer insight, it gives you tools you can use today, tomorrow, and every time life throws you off balance. First, there's cognitive restructuring. This is the mental reframe, the process of identifying automatic negative thoughts and replacing them with more balanced, evidence-based alternatives. It's not about false positivity, it's about realistic clarity. You learn to ask, is this thought helping me or harming me? Next, behavioral activation. When depression keeps us frozen, CBT helps us move. You begin scheduling small, meaningful activities, not because you feel like it, but because action creates momentum. Over time, pleasure and mastery return. Then we have exposure therapy. If fear has been running your life, this intervention invites you to face it. Gradually, safely, with support. You approach what you've avoided. The message becomes, I can handle this. My fear is not the truth. Skills training is another powerhouse. CBT helps you build what school never taught: problem solving, assertiveness, and social skills. These aren't just helpful, they're life-changing when practiced. And finally, mindfulness and acceptance. This is where CBT meets presence. You learn not to fight every thought, but to witness it. You sit with discomfort without judgment. You build the capacity to choose values over fear. Together, these tools form a complete system, not a quick fix, but a toolkit for sustainable mental fitness. CBT doesn't just teach you how to cope, it shows you how to live with intention, flexibility, and freedom. As we come to the close of this exploration into cognitive behavioral therapy, I invite you to reflect on one powerful truth. You are not at the mercy of your thoughts. With awareness, with practice, and with the right tools, you can become the architect of your inner world. CBT reminds us that transformation doesn't happen all at once. It happens thought by thought, choice by choice. It is a process of becoming conscious, of reclaiming power, of learning to respond rather than react. It is both a science and an art, a method and a mindset. Whether you're here as a clinician, a client, a seeker, or a supporter, may you carry this wisdom forward. Your mind is not a cage, but a canvas. And CBT is the brush that helps you repaint your life with clarity, courage, and compassion. Thank you for being part of this journey. And remember, change is always one thought away.